Howdy folks, Eric here, back with another standard video. Today, Fecund Greenshells. A card that brings a smile to my face. Love to see this guy. 5 mana, 4/6 from Bloomburrow. He's got reach. Got as long as you control 10 or more lands, creatures you control get +2/+2. And whenever Fecund Greenshell or another creature you control with toughness greater than its power enters, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, draw it, essentially. And today we're playing it in a green-white list. Very go wide, very much focused on triggering the green shell as much as possible once we get it down. You'll notice overall the card quality of this deck is pretty high. You've got 4 Gene Pollinators, 4 Insidious Fungus, 4 Novice Inspector, 4 Zenith. Building this foundation for a bunch of cards that cycle very nicely with Fecund Greenshell, and then all of these 1-drops that are 1/2s play nicely with Cosmic Grand Zenith, giving us a lot of fodder with which we can double spell. 4 Sentinel of the Nameless City, individually pretty high card quality. Now, we're on Brightglass Gearhulk, and you may be asking, Eric, you can't just put Brightglass Gearhulk into every green-white deck. Wouldn't Ouroboros be better here because it's got higher toughness than its power? You know, it triggers your green shell. That's a good point, except for the fact I think that, like, Gearhulk, while in and of itself is not a trigger for green shell, or a card that can trigger green shell, it draws 2 cards that can. And this is important for our Cosmic Grand Zenith as well. It helps us reliably Cosmic Grand Zenith. We're a deck that requires a pretty good amount of consistent card advantage to keep things flowing, and we're not really like a hard ramp shell like, say, the Ouroboros decks out there. We're a lot grindier, we're a lot more reliant on having things come together, and just tapping out for an Ouroboros, it's probably pretty good and probably win some games, but at the same time, we have a lot of added flexibility playing this Gearhulk plan. We're on a toolbox of 3 Duskrose Reliquaries, 1 Ghost Vacuum, 1 Seam Rip, as well as all the other 1-drop creatures that we can grab. A lot of main deck Naturalize in this 4 of Insidious Fungus is pretty nice against like the Lessons decks, playing the Monuments and so on and so forth. 4 Herd Heirloom, a nice ramp piece, works nicely with our Gearhulks, being able to cast them consistently on turn 3. Also helps us to double spell with Cosmic Grand Zenith more consistently. Ramps us into our Fecund Greenshells. All around a nice piece here. As far as our mana base, 2 Abandoned Air Temples, 1 Bossing Say, 23 lands total, some Restless Prairies, and 4 Lush Portico. Pretty important that we just get our colors online in this deck. We're not really like a hard aggro list, so we can afford to play some of these slower lands and eventually develop and try to just present big, unbeatable boards. We have 4 Voice of Victory in the side for control. Another 1/3 triggers the green shell. Also works really nicely with the Anthem effect from the green shell. 4 Split Up for aggro and go wide. 2 Elspeth Smite, 1 Authority of the Consuls, 2 Soul Guide Lantern, 2 Rest in Peace. Pretty straightforward. And hopefully we get to demonstrate some of the power of this list. Yeah, it can be a little clunky sometimes. But if you manage to stave off early aggression, and eventually you just generate so much card advantage and board such a big board state with your Cosmic Grands and green shells, that I think it plays out pretty nicely. Does it get ranched by control? Maybe. It could. Depends on how our sideboard games go. I like this start. We'll just go ahead and lead on the Restless Prairie, and then we'll go turn 2 Herd Heirloom into our Insidious Fungus here, I think. Just go for the starting town, Herd Heirloom, play the Fungus out here, and then we'll untap with 4 mana next turn. Probably just play an Inspector and cycle it, or maybe activate our Fungus, depending on what they're up to. Fabled Passage in their blue-white deck is a little weird. Go ahead and swing for 1 here. All of our creatures, for the most part, cycle. Like, all of our 1-drops. I guess except for Gene, but... Gene Pollinator... Obviously ramps. So, it all plays pretty nicely. It should flow pretty smoothly here for us. Just go ahead and get on board. We're probably not going to counter any of this stuff. And then we'll play into Crack a Clue here. Malcolm. What could they possibly be playing? Fabled Passage, Malcolm. Maybe just a weird land choice here. Not a whole lot we can do about counter magic right now, so I don't think we're just going to tap out for the Greenshell next turn, unless they tap out. Pass it to me. Well, I'm just going to keep beating them down with these 1-power creatures until they do something about it. Abandoned Air Temple is actually a really nice draw. We can't play it untapped quite yet, so let's just go on the Restless Prairie for now. Go ahead and swing in for 3. I can't use the Herd Heirloom effectively right now, so let's just go ahead and cast this other Inspector and plan to Crack a Clue. I kind of am... I'm anticipating like a Day of Judgment next turn, even though they have this Malcolm. We're seeing this Meticulous Archive. They might wipe the board, maybe they don't. But they're not winning the race right now, so... Draw a card. Keep it flowing. Another Novice Inspector, not the worst draw. Go ahead and swing out here. We'll play the Inspector with our Herd Heirloom and plan to... Like, at the end of the day, we're just putting creatures on the board and swinging, right? But the nice thing about this list is, like, all of our creatures cycle, so even if they do deal with this, I can pop the Insidious Fungus, I can crack the clues, you know. Aang Swift Savior. I see. Targeting my fungus. That's fine. That can be a retrigger for the Greenshell. So we'll just plan to pop these 2 clues. Actually, maybe just fire up the Abandoned Air Temple. They might not be able to beat that, to be honest with you. Or fire up the Restless Prairie. Swing it in. Kind of seems like they're stuck on lands here. Even though they discarded away a Meticulous Archive earlier, maybe they shouldn't have done that. Crack a Clue. Gene. Crack a Clue. Seam Rip, not bad. Plains, pretty good. So let's go ahead and just play Gene. Let's plan to activate this Abandoned Air Temple and Seam Rip the Malcolm. Gonna be pretty tough for them to deal with this. Tishana's Tidebinder, fair enough. Not the end of the world for us here. They don't block. They definitely should have blocked. They might regret that. Seam Rip the Malcolm, keep them from casting free spells. Off to a pretty decent start here. Not really showing off the power of Greenshell quite yet. But we are on the board, and Abandoned Air Temple is looking good. Sheltered by Ghosts. We can deal with that. Fecund Greenshell. Reach, by the way. No blocks here. They're at 11. Are they just dead if we fire up the Restless Prairie? Fire up the Restless Prairie. I guess they could have Into the Floodmaw. I can't let them into the Floodmaw me. I guess I tap this for green. Play a Gene. I'm going to play around Into the Floodmaw here. I'm just going to Duskro's Reliquary there. Ang. Sacrificing the Herd Heirloom. And then I'll get to Seam Rip Malcolm. Detect Intrusion. Okay. Pretty good. Yeah, I guess I might lose to that. We'll play the Fungus here. We'll see if they can find an extra damage next turn. Otherwise, we're still presenting a really big attack with all of these other creatures here. Swing in with the Inspectors. Hold up the Fungus activation. We can just kill the Sheltered by Ghosts here. That's probably the best play. Let's just kill the Sheltered by Ghosts right now. Keep them off of the lifelink. Play around the Tishana's Hidebinder. Tap this for mana. And then Seam Rip the Scoundrel. Not a whole lot they can do about that, I think. So they have a binder for Greenshell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Guess we'll see what's... I guess I'll just play a Greenshell. Pretty unlikely that they counter this, I guess. We can pay for a No More Lies. They don't have double white for Aven Interrupter, and if they... Yeah, we'll pay for this. Not a big problem. They maybe should have just considered countering the ability, taking me off the reach here. Into the Floodmaw. Fair enough. Put a starting town into play. Play a Lush Portico. Sentinel of the Nameless City. Not doing a whole lot here, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. If we draw another land, we can fire up the Restless Prairie and activate. I guess we can fire up 2 Restless Prairies next turn, right? 4, 4, yeah. Okay. I think we can skip on the Sentinel for now. Let's just go ahead and swing in. I don't think having these ground blockers will do anything on their turn. Get in for a little extra damage here. They're very stuck on lands. Probably not a whole lot they can do. Cosmograin Zenith. So if I fire up 2 Restless Prairies and all they have is Tishana's Tidebinder, then they're just dead, right? Because I'll be getting in with 3 2-power creatures and a 3/3. Go for this. They Tishana's. Oh, actually, even more than that, right? I guess I just go for a second one, right? Because if their plan is to just counter the trigger... What do I lose to if not... I don't think I lose to anything. I'm just gonna fire up the second one. I'm pretty sure that's right. I guess I could hold back Abandoned Air Temple activation. That's like just as good. We'll just not swing with the Gene Pollinators. And then if there's something that I didn't expect, I can just play the Greenshell, but no, this should be fine. All right, good game one. Not really a Greenshell match. We tried to resolve one. It did hit the field temporarily. Just kind of a weird like token beatdown almost is what it was. Not really tokens, but you know what I mean. Bring in the Voice of Victories. Keep them off of their disruption. I kind of like an Elspeth Smite, or sorry, an Authority of the Consoles. I kind of like the Elspeth Smite too, actually. These are all pretty effective cards against this kind of strategy. Authority keeps them from being able to block with their flash creatures. Go down the Ghost Vacuum. Probably cut a couple Insidious Fungus. Cut a couple Herd Heirlooms. Cut a little of our top end here. All right, like that. I tend to like cutting Herd Heirloom in post-board games because I think of Herd Heirloom as kind of like a really proactive, I'm just doing my game plan kind of card. And once you're aware of what you're playing against, like if this is like the flash strategy, it's a little bit of air almost in a way, where you just kind of tend to want the cards that are good in the matchup, I think. I'm going to mulligan this because I think it's a little too... maybe I keep... I'm worried that it's a little too fragile to their like flash plan, you know, that everything is so expensive here, but we have good mana. Wouldn't mind like a Gene Pollinator to open up our mana a little. Or a turn 1 Insidious Fungus would have been pretty nice. Gear Hulk. Little Drago action. Starting town. Let's just go for the Sentinel. It's probably getting countered, but not the end of the world. They can't counter everything here. I mean, that's kind of a benefit to keeping a hand like this, is eventually they will run out of counter magic. Let's the Sentinel resolve. Get a map. Bounces it. Okay. Do you have a Malcolm to follow that up? Sure. Probably going to go for a Brightglass next turn. That sets up our double spell with Cosmic Grand Zenith. Counter. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think it matters that much though. I don't know, I could be wrong. Could be wrong. It lets me like double spell with Cosmic Grand Zenith now. Voice of Victory is pretty good. Maybe I just go Voice first. No, I'm gonna go Cosmic Grand Zenith first. If they want to counter this, they can counter this, and then I'll just play the Gear Hulk. Now Voice of Victory. They'll probably counter this, but I'm already getting quite a lot of value now. Tidebinder. Not a huge deal. They can't swing with the Tidebinder through the Zenith, and now I have a Voice of Victory for next turn. It'll be your time soon, my darling. Sheltered by Ghosts? No. Okay, well we can Brightglass for some seam rips. Clear up their board a little that way. Gotta take the hits here. Land. Voice of Victory does a great job at like turning off their detect intrusions if they're still on those. Kind of turns off their whole deck, to be honest. Floodpit's Drowner. Okay. Gene Pollinator. Well, whatever we're going to do, I think it starts with Brightglass Gearhulk. We can get a Seam Rip and pay the ward. Get our Zenith back. Have 2 blockers. They'll swing in for 4 in the air. So Seam Rip makes sense to me. And then maybe a Duskro's Reliquary. Problem is this Restless Anchorage. We need to draw another land to be able to like play the Greenshell to block with. Yeah, I think that's what we got though. Okay, we need to draw a land basically, to be able to block the anchorage, because we can take out Aang with the Duskro's Reliquary. There's a land. Okay, they figured out firing of the anchorage. They realized what to do. Swinging in. Down to 1. Map. Land. Not a land. We could draw into like an Elspeth Smite. I don't think there's like a hidden lethal I can come up with. They're at a pretty high life total still. I think we go Herd Heirloom into Duskro's Reliquary. Plus some blockers out. Start swinging in for damage. Hope we draw into Elspeth Smite. Kind of put it in the hands of luck, I suppose. Sacrifice our map here. Yep, I just like making some tokens here. Makes sense to me. Swing in with the Gearhulk. They can't stop me from drawing here. There's the land, but too little too late, unfortunately. Move it along into game 3. On the play. Maybe a couple split ups are worth it. Come on, Greenshell. Maybe Greenshell is just a little too expensive in this match. I like that it blocks their flyers, but it's a little expensive in this matchup. We're much more likely to just win off the back of a Cosmic Grand Zenith or something like that. It's a good hand. Turn 2 Voice of Victory is pretty hard for them to deal with. We'll skip the Restless Prairie. Floodpit's Drowner. Fair enough. Just go for Zenith here. Double Spelling is a little far away, but playing the Zenith here means we have the mana to Bossing Say next turn and then start making a pretty wide board for our Zenith triggers. Unless we draw like a Gearhulk, then Double Spelling becomes pretty likely. Another Drowner. On the Zenith. Sentinel of the Nameless City. That's pretty good. Let's just go ahead and play that. Crack a map here. No need to swing in. I think they would probably like to eat my Voice of Victory. Not going to give them the chance here. Gene Pollinator. I think we can pass on that. Even though it lets us double spell, I'm not sure that we want to double spell using the split up here. Not the most powerful draw we could come up with. Wouldn't mind an Abandoned Air Temple. I think we could close out the game pretty quickly with one of those. Werefox Bodyguard. Okay. Brightglass Gear Hulk is disgustingly good. So, play a Plains. Play the Brightglass. They could bounce my Cosmic Grand Zenith right now. Keep me from being able to double spell. But it might just be too little too late for them here. Go ahead and grab... I think we just want Novice Inspectors. Actually, let's get a Duskrose Reliquary so we can eat the Werefox Bodyguard to get our Voice of Victory back. Make our little mappy here. Eat it up. Feeling pretty good. Deck's running smoothly. It always feels weird, by the way, like naming the video and theming the deck around a certain card and then cutting all 4 of that card in the sideboard, like postboard, but I think it makes sense here. Just too expensive to tap out for the Greenshell when they're able to interact like this. Okay. Gonna go for the Zenith. I guess I don't really care if they interact with the Voice of Victory at this point. No more lies. Just gonna pay for this. Not a big deal. Swing it in. Not a whole lot they can do outside of board wipes here. Should be wrapped up pretty nicely. Okay, back to me. Go for our Voice of Victory. Drew a second Voice of Victory. Malcolm. Tishana's. And now we heard Heirloom. Put counters on my guys. Swing in. Yep. Okay. GG's. 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 Pretty far and away from them being able to come back. Good, solid match 1 in the books. Did not really show off Fecund Greenshell at all. Maybe you could make an argument with that card where it's like, it's too expensive to have a 5-mana engine. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it replaces itself. So at worst, like, it redraws, right? Same stats as Quantum Riddler, redraws, and then really late game, it becomes a really nasty draw where you're able to like filter out your less relevant cheap creatures. Gotta mulligan this. This is a good hand. We have our turn 2 Herd Heirloom. Turn 3 Zenith into Novice Inspector if we draw another land. So let's just go ahead and ditch the Sentinel. It's just a good top end piece, right? It's kind of like Value Town almost. I don't know if anyone remembers like the classic. Oh, who was it? Playing the OG Value Town list. Tom? Someone? I don't remember. A Braid? Yuck. Let's just go Zenith here. Make them have an answer for it. We have double Novice Inspector next turn. Caretaker's Talent. So they could be on board wipes. I kind of just like the fungus here. I'm just gonna bop their Caretaker's Talent. I don't have to think about this too much. I think our 4 main deck Insidious Fungus is gonna line up kind of nicely here. There's the Day of Judgment. Perhaps a little premature. Play the Herd Heirloom so we can open up the Gear Hulk next turn. We'll just go double Inspector. Enduring Courage. Our opponent is on an interesting deck list here. Just eats a clue. Enduring Courage. Play the Gear Hulk. Find a... I think Ghost Vacuum could be kind of good here. I guess they're on Seam Rips of their own. Let's find a fungus and a fungus. I think that'll be okay. We're kind of primed and ready for a Fecund Greenshell draw if we hit our another land drop. Okay, there's another land drop. Let's go ahead and start swinging in with the Gear Hulk. Make them have removal for this. Otherwise, we'll start drawing cards. Ooh. Yeah, it's looking bad for our opponent here. We can play out a fungus and pass. No need to go all in. This is some like greedy tokens build. They're going for a Wrath of God, or a Day of Judgment rather. Draw a card. No need to kill the Enduring Courage here. Enduring Courage, interesting card. I'd like to do a video built around this card. It's 4 mana is just a lot for this effect. It's very powerful, but it's bad defensively. Like if it had 4 toughness and it could block stuff, it might be okay. It's just at a weird position where it's like you're tapping out, you want hasty things. It's like a combo beast, right? You want hasty things, but like it itself is not particularly aggressive. You have to have other powerful cards to go with it, or other cards to go with it to make it look powerful. Play a Herd Heirloom. Play a fungus. Play Gene Pollinator. And hold up fungus/clue. See what they do here. Might just blow up their Enduring Courage. I'm not like that afraid of them hitting me with 3 power fish. I'm much more interested in killing this. They're just ripping it. Well, I'm gonna bop the talent. Three power fish coming in. Oh, the Greenshell. It's happening. The combo. It's going. Go, 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 go. Yes, land on the battlefield. I'm gonna play around Day of Judgment, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna play around Day of Judgment. But we have the Greenshell on the field, and we're primed and ready to get some cards off of it. Get lost. Womp womp. Not the end of the world. Elspeth. Ooh. A little challenging. We'll see how all in they go here. Making some soldiers. They have haste. Swinging in. Okay. Not going to block. That's a little tough. Let's go ahead and draw here. Abandon Air Temple. Not a bad draw. Gear Hulk. Not a bad draw. If I fire up the Restless Prairie and get a map on it that's close to dealing with their Elspeth with the Herd Heirloom Trample situation, I think I just have to play a Gear Hulk here. I kind of just have to get on board, right? Play a Gear Hulk. Get a Ghost Vacuum. You know what? Actually, let's just get an Inspector, 2 Inspectors. We can play out our hand and threaten a pretty wide board next turn. Although, hold on. They make a fish. Oh, they make 2 hasty fish. Yeah, I'm just dead to this no matter what. I had to kill the Enduring Courage there. That was my goof. Had to kill the Enduring Courage there. Okay. Bring in the Authority of the Consuls. Because they were able to like make 2 hasty fish and then give everything flying. I kind of didn't take the doubling the fish into my calculation. Pretty neat. Bring in the split up. I don't think we want the split up on the play. I think Voice of Victory is pretty good. It's aggressive. Go down 2 Dusk Rose Reliquary. Go down the Ghost Vacuum. Actually, Ghost Vacuum's kind of good against their Enduring Courage. Go down a Greenshell. Go down a Sentinel. Maybe just stick it with 3 voice. Try it like that. Yeah, kind of a goof. Enduring Courage, not a card you run into like ever, but looked kind of good there, I guess. Play first. Pretty good hand. Lush Portico. Voice of Victory on turn 2. I like it, but with this hand, we just need lands. No need to shoot ourselves in the foot there. Zenith. Play out our guys. Probably just go for Gear Hulk next turn and then set up into Cosmic Grand Zenith. Voice of Victory of their own. Okay, I like the Sentinel here. Start cracking some maps. Try to hit our land drops. They could be on split up. Would not be very good here. Be okay. Fire Magic for 2. Okay, takes me off of my guy. Go ahead and crack a map. Land is a good draw. Another land. Swing in. So we are in this game officially. Let's see if we hit a... I guess we'll surveil first, and then if there's a land on top, we'll just grab it with the map. Sweet. Doesn't really matter that these are coming in tapped. We're all dressed up. Enduring Innocence. They can't really swing in, though. Land. Another land. Not the worst draw. Swing for 3. They're thinking about whether they want to trade in. Oh, I guess they can't, actually, because of the 4 toughness. Sweet. Play a Zenith. Let's just go with the Restless Prairie, because if we do draw a basic, then these are untapped lands, which is pretty big game for us. Basic is probably our best draw by a lot right now, because it would let us double spell with Brightglass, and Or we could play the Greenshell. Carrot cake. Yeah, they're not doing a whole lot. Leave something on top. Might be an Elspeth. Elspeth's still a problem for us. Maybe we should have some Get Lost somewhere in the deck. The only reason I'm not on Get Lost is because I kind of see it in a way as like enchantment removal that we don't necessarily need because of our 4 Insidious Fungus. I think I'm going to go for a map crack here over the Gear Hulk right away. So if I hit a basic, then that unlocks kind of everything for me. That's not bad. If I play another Zenith, they just have to kill it. And then I get to play a tapped land, and then I get to... I guess I'm just going to go for the Gear Hulk here. Grab the Authority of the Consuls. Very nice against their deck. Let's grab an Insidious Fungus. Good against a possible Caretaker's Talent. We have powerful threats. And they're like, if they wipe the board, you know, it takes off their board as well, which is kind of real here. They probably won't be able to answer all of this. We're hitting our land drops. Main phase Fountain Port. They scried something to the top, and then they went main phase Fountain Port activation. Weird. Well, we're going to double spell. Let's go Authority into Insidious Fungus. They crack their Carrot Cake. They don't have a whole lot going on here. Put a map on the Gear Hulk. I guess we probably should have played the Fungus first. Seems a little obvious in retrospect. We'll leave Gene on top. It plays nicely with our Greenshell. Play a Bossing Say. We'll just put counters on our creatures here. Let's our Gear Hulk swing in for maximum damage. I don't think matching their wide is particularly important right now. If they play Elspeth, they get to swing in for a decent amount, but they're not nearing lethal, really. And we can take them off of the life gain from Enduring Innocence. Another Fountain Port. Main phase Fish, again. Enters tapped. They lose a life, I gain a life in this transaction. They're digging for a board wipe, I guess. Kind of seems like they don't have it. Maybe we just move into game 3. I'm gonna bop the I'm gonna bop the Enduring Innocence right now. Keeps them off of the life gain from this. If I decide to swing in with the Zenith. Gene. Let's go ahead and double spell. Let's play a Zenith into an Insidious Fungus. Put big counters on the Gear Hulk. Swing in. I guess let's make 1/1s and then put counters on. Counter, 1/1. And now we can blow up this Enduring Innocence for good. And that's pretty good. Swing in with everything here. This plays around Split Up as well. They decide to block with the Voice of Victory. Not entirely sure why. Save a little life, I suppose, if they have a board wipe. Yeah, I guess they're just resigning themselves to wiping the board. Not the end of the world for us here. We have a great recovery here with the double Greenshell and Green Pollinator. Gene Pollinator. Player land. Hold up Fungus / Clue. Okay, they decide to draw Natty with the Fountain Port rather than putting a fish into play. They've got to have a Day of Judgment by now, right? They're digging? I guess I'll try to blow up the Enduring Innocence. What do they have? Okay. I mean, obviously I'm going to blow up the Enduring Innocence in response to that, right? Run it back. Seems fine. Seems fine. Match 2. Game 3. 1-0 overall, match-wise. Looks like a pretty good hand. Doesn't really matter that these lands are tapped. Helps us find our next land drops. Herd Heirloom, not a bad draw. Land, nice. Carrot Cake, not a big deal. Let's go Herd Heirloom into Novice Inspector here. We don't need to let them know we have the fungus quite yet. Caretaker's Talent. Okay, well, we will be blowing that up. Not much else to do. Another Herd Heirloom. I think we can pass on that one. Pop your talent. Just gonna pass here. Keep them from swinging with the tokens. This might be a deck where we play a Valgavoth Lair, to be honest. Being able to like continually hit our land drops is pretty important. So in these kinds of positions where we have enough mana to cast a Gear Hulk but no more lands after that, could be ideal to play the Valgavoth Lair, not Valgavoth, sorry. The enchantment land. Go ahead and grab. I like the Authority of the Consuls generally here. Go ahead and grab another fungus. Not gonna swing. They might just abrade my Gear Hulk here. Crack their Carrot Cake. Well, we're pretty well set up for the Greenshell. I think we just jam it next turn and make them have an answer to it. And then kind of go crazy if they don't. If they play Elspeth here, it's pretty good for them. They're kind of forced to blow up the Gear Hulk, though. Exalted Sunborn. Okay. Doubles tokens. Interesting. Cosmic Grand Zenith. Kind of a nice draw. We could go like Zenith and Authority, put counters on our guys, and then swing in with the Gear Hulk to draw a card. It's all pretty nice. They're going to have a hard time dealing with the Authority if they don't have a Seam Rip. Draw some cards. Hopefully we hit a land drop here. Nope. Seam Rip. Okay, fair enough. Well, we do have a Fungus for their Seam Rip. Caretaker's Talent. Can they make tokens? Okay, they can make these tokens, I suppose. That's all well and good. Not the end of the world. Need to think about Elspeth. Alpha Strike. I suppose we go like Inspector, play the Fungus, blow up the Authority. It's for sure Inspector Fungus. Pretty happy with more counters. Swing in with everything here. I guess we'll see how they block before I do the Herd Heirloom. Just give Trample to the Cosmic Grand Zenith. Hit them for a pretty big chunk. Okay, draw a land. Not bad. We can wait on the Fungus here, I think. I don't think we need to rush to blow anything up. We have the option of shutting down more tokens with the Authority. We have the option of shutting down Caretaker's Talent level up. See what they go for here. Greenshell. Soon you'll be on the field, my friend. Main phase, activate Fountain Port. I think in this case, I'm just going to blow up the Seam Rip. Make these tokens come in tapped, take them off of blockers. I don't really care if they draw the extra cards here, I think. Gain a little life. Bossing Say. There's a land. Well, I suppose we get to go Greenshell. I think we get to do the... Is it a little unsafe to Greenshell? Maybe. I think we have to... Let's play... I guess we lead on a Voice of Victory here. Okay, tap like this. Lead on a Voice of Victory. See if they have anything else going on. They don't. Interesting. So then we put counters on all of our guys? Or is it better to activate Bossing Say? Counters on all of our guys means we swing for big, and they can't just trample block. But they can't just like chump block because of the trample block. Pretty likely to not be able to kill me next turn through all of that. Yeah, double spelling just makes more sense. I'm sorry, Greenshell. It's simply not your time. Big counters. If we swing out, so we're definitely swinging with these two. They'll block the rabbit, go to 1. If I swing with more, they're just gaining life, really. Not much of a reason to swing with these two, I guess. And they can't sacrifice this rabbit because of the trample. So this rabbit's for sure dead. They'll probably give up a fish to draw a card. Kind of putting him in a tough spot here. They decide to block the Exalted Sunborn for a little extra life. Okay. Block with the Exalted Sunborn. So we'll use the Herd Heirloom on the Gearhulk then. Draw a card. Kind of feeling like there's not a whole lot they can do. Like, even if they wipe this board, I think we're doing okay. Sacrifice this rabbit, effectively doing nothing. Land, not a bad draw. Go ahead and pop a map. Another land, not a bad draw. Alright, we're set up to rebuild through a board wipe. They kind of need a lot to go right here. Authority of the Consuls makes things pretty tough for them to develop a board and kill us quickly. Blocking is not really an option for them, so there's the Day of Judgment. Time for Greenshell to shine, baby. Once the dust is settled, the perfect spot. Voice of Victory. Enters tapped. Cosmograin Zenith. Little tension between Zenith and Greenshell in the order in which they want to be played. I think it's probably better to get the Greenshell online first. This is like actual real card advantage. Draw some cards. We're almost at 10 lands. Surveil. Skip this plains. You have the starting town in hand. Enduring Innocence. Enters tapped. Come on, Greenshell, you can do it. You can go the distance. It's okay, Rocky. You're doing your best. Main phase, make a fish. In what world is that right? I guess you draw two, but like, what are you going to draw into? Get lost, I guess, maybe? They must have absolute dog water in their hand. Insidious Fungus, kind of a sweet draw. Flare Zenith. Trigger the Greenshell. Okay, play an Insidious Fungus. Let's go for counters because we're trying to find lethal here. Trigger the Greenshell. Play Gene. Now I'm not sure that we can find lethal this turn. If we had hit a land off of that draw, maybe. No, actually, I guess we do have lethal. We just need to hit our 10th land. And we can trample whatever they don't block. Gene Pollinator. We're storming off, baby. We're storming off. Novice Inspector. Yep. Come on, 10th land. Another Greenshell. Gene Pollinator. Come on, 10th land. Oh my gosh. Okay, well that's good enough. It's not the 10th land, but it will do. I think they would have played a Get Lost by now if they had that. Play a starting town. Swing in. Getcha? Come on, you don't have anything. You don't have anything. You would have Get Lost in my Fecund Greenshell a million years ago. You have a Lightning Helix. This better not be a land off the top. Boom, boom. Put you to 2. Gene. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Probably not a whole lot they can do about this bossing say, though. Pay a life. Draw a couple cards. Like, even if they do draw a Day of Judgment here, they also kind of need to Lightning Helix my bossing say land. Yeah. That's two matches in the books. 2-0. Fun deck. When it goes off, it's it's kind of a beautiful sight. Is it slow? Like, is the Greenshell a little slow? Yeah, okay. But it's not bad for rebuilding, right? Because it has this like potential to just make you draw into more 1 toughness or 2 toughness creatures that just like cycle endlessly. It's not bad. Great hand. Keeping this. Match number 3. Turn 1 Breeding Pool. Allies. Greenshell. Play this fungus. Could be a tough game 1 here on the draw. But we have a lot of split ups in our sideboard. No blocks. Gene. Yeah, let's just open up our mana as much as we can with this expensive hand here. I think the earlier we get the Greenshell on the field in this matchup, the better. They are playing like Aang to be able to kill it, but otherwise they might have a tough time with it. Actually, it's probably better to seam rip like the South Pole Voyager here. They're stuck on lands, and Gearhulk is going to be kind of a problem for them. Grab a seam rip. Grab our Duskrose Reliquary while we're here, I suppose. Tap the fungus. Play a seam rip. Eat their South Pole Voyager. Hope they don't draw lands, I guess. And I hope they get stuck on 2 lands forever. Okay. That's my karma. There's Katara. Double trigger the Earth King's Lieutenant. We get to... I think in order to keep up with all of this, we go like Zenith. Duskrose Reliquary. On Katara. What do we give up here? I guess we give up the fungus. Not doing a whole lot. Let's make some blockers. I think that sounds pretty good to me. Swing in with the Gearhulk. I think we can afford to. Draw a card. There's a land, not the worst draw. My Scornful Striker. Sorry, May. I've seen the show. Yeah, definitely gonna start blocking here. Double block this guy. Block like this. I think that's okay. Trade in our Cosmograin Zenith. I think we're doing great now. Our stuff is just so much bigger than theirs. Got a lot of value out of this. I'm gonna get a lot of value out of this Greenshell. I suppose let's surveil first. I think we just want to see a land on top. Skip that. Fecund Greenshell, go! Gene! We're comboing. Pass it to you. I guess I could attack, but this is a little safer. Earth Kingdom Protectors. Okay. You're telling me I get to double Greenshell? Double Greenshell unlocked? I don't think they can do anything about this. I don't think there's a single thing they can do about this. Put this land into play. Let's go for a fungus here. Possible that we just keep comboing here. Going crazy. All right. Next turn we unlock everything and win. I guess I can swing in. No, indestructible actually keeps me from being able to do that. Just wait a turn. Pretty likely to hit our 10 lands, and then we'll have 2 Anthem effects next turn. Not a whole lot they can do. I could go for 3 Anthem effects, I suppose. We could go for 3 Anthem effects, I suppose. Yeah, why not? What are they even doing here, you know? They're not really doing a whole lot. Play a Greenshell. Oh yeah, triple triggers. The triple triad, if you will. Land. Now all of my creatures are huge. Who needs Ouroboros? Who needs it? We got the Greenshell on our side. Oh, I love this deck, dude. Split ups. We'll take some smites. Take the authorities. Cut down on. Pretty much don't need the fungus at all in this matchup. Probably don't need Ghost Vacuum. Maybe go down a Greenshell. Go down a Sentinel, perhaps. Seems fine. I just love it so much. I'm sorry I did this gesture, but with the tongue out, but this it brings me pure joy. I've had some recording sessions lately where I'm a little less enthused, and gosh, Fecund Greenshell. I own this deck in paper, and it's a blast. A hoot and a holler. Highly recommended if you like silly green mid-range lists and you're tired of like winning with Ouroboros, I suppose, and you just want to draw a million cards. There you go. There you go. Fecund Greenshell. And I was playing Greenshell before Cosmic Grand Zenith, but Cosmic Grand Zenith makes everything else make sense, right? Where it's like, okay, you're on this plan with a bunch of. This is a good hand. You're on this plan with a bunch of like 1 mana dinkers, right? Because you want to maximize your Greenshell in the late game. No other deck really like wants that. I guess I'm just gonna jam here. Gene Pollinator makes me pretty safe to just jam here because I can tap my stuff as needed to play around my own split up. But with the printing of Cosmic Grand Zenith, it's like all these cards that are good with Greenshell go crazy with Cosmic Grand Zenith as well. Just gonna play our Sentinel here. Crack a map. I guess we tap the Gene Pollinator. Yeah, that's fine. It's a little suspicious if I tap the Sentinel and leave up. I guess I don't even get to leave up mana in that case. No reason to tap the Sentinel there. So they must have Aang, which they'll get double triggers from. Play our Lush Portico. Gear Hulk. Pretty sweet. Just going to go ahead and swing in with the Sentinel here. They might decide to Aang before attackers. Okay. Exiling my stuff. No reason to float mana here, really. I guess I can tap my Gene Pollinator and then split up. It's pretty good. Or I can just replay this stuff and see if they play out more guys. I think I'd like to get the Katara off the field. Maybe a little premature, but we have a lot of other stuff to do with our mana, so I think taking them off of Katara keeps them from going too crazy. Boiling Rock Rioter. Tap an untapped ally you control, exile target card from a graveyard. When it attacks, you may cast an ally spell from among cards exiled. Well, I can Elspeth's Smite it. So let's play the Gear Hulk. Hold up Elspeth's Smite here. I think keeping this Sentinel in exile for now sets up pretty nicely for a possible Fecund Greenshell situation. I think I'm going to go for a Duskrose Reliquary and an Authority and just pass. Oh, I guess I can play the Authority because we have this extra mana from Jean. So let's go ahead and play the Authority and just plan to eat their Rioter with the Smite. I think that makes sense to me. Because of the timing restrictions on this ability, they won't be able to like use their exiled Aang to save it. Timing restrictions is maybe not the right word, but you know what I mean. They can't like you actually use Aang to counter a spell from the Boiling Rock Rioter. They're looking at my stuff. They're saying, holy smokes, all of his stuff is so much bigger than mine. They're swinging in. Okay. They have Firebending 1 from the Rioter. I guess I'm just going to go for the Smite right now. And then if they have Aang, they have to do it before the Katara resolves. And then they won't be able to Aang both my Gear Hulk and the spell here. Kind of works out nicely, I think. Origin of Metal Bending. Okay, well, I guess I'm glad I didn't block. Katara enters tapped. Go ahead and first strike down the Earthen ally. Works out pretty nicely for me. Anyway. Let's play this Sentinel for now. Use the map to exile their Katara. Yeah, Katara's just like scary with Aang at the crossroads, you know. Go ahead and crack a map on our Gear Hulk here. Pretty big board for them to have to deal with. Yeah, we'll take a split up. Sure, why not? Swing in. I think we're doing pretty well for ourselves. Not a whole lot they can do with this Rioter. There's Aang at the crossroads. Enters tapped. Split up looking pretty good with the Authority on the field. Scoop it up. Match number 3 in the books. Good clean win. Earth Kingdom Jailer. Okay. Not the end of the world. Land. Swings with the Rioter. Do you have an ally with which to give something indestructible? Huh? You saw my split up, right? Okay. Match 3 in the books. On to match 4. Heading into match 4 on the draw. Decent hand. It's a pretty good Insidious Fungus hand. We have enough lanes to support the ramp plan here. Turn 1 Spyglass Siren, huh? Just lead on the Lush Portico, I suppose. Do we want another Greenshell? Yeah, I think so. It's slow, but like... we're already planning on ramping into the first one anyway. Might as well have a backup. Might not matter what we do wholly. Anyway, they could just like play a Kaito next turn and we could be out of the game. We get it. You're playing dimmer tempo. Oh, you take all of your actions so quickly. Ooh, it's Kaito. Doing some surveilling. Basic land is a pretty good draw, actually. It means we get to play the Abandoned Air Temple untapped, so if we like draw a Gear Hulk, we're set up pretty nicely here. They're pretty likely just to stun the Sentinel with Kaito's -2. Nope. Decides to roll up Kaito. We'll take it. Spyglass Siren. Okay, they're pretty likely... oh, there's a Gear Hulk. Just gonna swing at Kaito here. There's the Floodblitz Drowner. Okay. Fair enough. Play our Gear Hulk. Go ahead and grab a... I think I like Inspector and Seam Rip here. Give us some chumps to play with. Clear out their flyers. So they can stun here if they want. Just decide to swing in. Yeah, no blocks. Roll up Kaito. Or zero Kaito, rather. Our opponent is pondering. Deep Cavern Bat. Why, yes, those are 2 turtles in my pockets. Decides to take a Duskar's Reliquary. Fair enough. Another Inspector might not be the worst draw here. Go for a Seam Rip on the Deep Cavern Bat. They could have like a Tishana's Tidebinder. There's the Tishana's Tidebinder. Fair enough. Double Novice Inspector might be enough to keep me alive. Because I'll be able to block Kaito and block the binder. Take some amount. Guess if I just jam at Kaito right now, I could like pop the map on the Gear Hulk and jam at Kaito. Am I necessarily dead there? Another Greenshell. Yeah. If I jam at Kaito, they stun an Inspector, so they like block with a Drowner. Swing back with everything. Probably dead. Block. Kaito goes to 1. Chump Kaito, they swing with 5. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. I guess I'm giving them like free information by playing out those Inspectors. But I think it's fine. They can't -2 Kaito now. I guess they have this map. They have this map to work with, which I didn't take into calculations. They have to have like another removal piece in hand to get everything through. Go ahead and block here. I'm kind of surprised they're going for the Surveil, because they're really taking away their ability to stun at all effectively by not like rolling up. I doubt more card advantage, like more cards, is what they need. They're so close to ending the game. I kind of feel like they might as well just roll up so that they can guarantee stun next turn. I mean, I don't know their hand, but it feels weird to me that they would do that. They have 4 in the air. What could we draw here? Maybe we go like land into, play the Greenshell into... I guess I swing at Kaito with the Sentinel. Might as well swing with the Gear Hulk, I suppose, as well. Yeah, I guess there's not a reason to swing with both there. I don't know. I guess it's better through removal. Just play the Greenshell. See what you got. Another Tidebinder. But we still have blocks here. Do you have another piece of removal? Second Kaito? Go into 1. Preacher. Abandoned Air Temple. Yeah, it's too many dinglings in the air at this point. I'm not sure that there's anything I can draw. I don't really have any like main deck life gain. Play another Greenshell. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Lost a tempo on the draw. Not particularly surprising. Bring in the Voice of Victories, bring in the Smites. I actually like Authority in this matchup. Keeps their flash stuff makes their flash stuff come in tapped, which makes it worse blockers, essentially. Plus the little bit of life gain adds up over the course of games like that, when, you know, the numbers are so small. As far as like their attacking, as far as the power of their creatures go, right? I don't like split up. Let's go ahead and cut all the Insidious Fungus. Cut the Ghost Vacuum. Cut a Greenshell or 2. Just a little slow. Try it like that. Little slow in this matchup. On the play. Pretty good hand. They might have a tough time with this. We get to go turn 1 Prairie, turn 2 Heirloom plus Inspector. Voice of Victory. I'm going to do that instead. Deep Cavern Bat. Not a big deal. The power level of our hand is pretty flat here. I'm guessing, okay, they decide to take the 3rd Heirloom. Interesting. We'll just play a Sentinel here. They could have like a Preacher of the Schism, which blocks our Sentinel quite nicely. But I think I'm willing to soup up the Sentinel and start swinging in. Hopefully we get a counter here. Nope. In that case, we play a Novice Inspector and plan to crack the clue, and then Greenshell next turn. Schism complicates things. I think that was a pretty important turn for us to get a counter on the Sentinel to be able to trade with the Preacher. Map on the Bat. Bitter Triumph. Probably going to keep that on top. Seems solid. Tapped land. Swing in with the bat. Take it. Draw. Lush Portico. Duskrose Reliquary. Pretty good. And if I Reliquary the Schism, the Preacher first here, then they're pretty likely to Bitter Triumph the Sentinel at this point, leaving an opening for my Greenshell. Go ahead and crack a map on the Voice of Victory. Draw land. Pretty good land. They know about this prairie, so we'll just play the prairie. Swing it in. Might be a turn for their Enduring Curiosity. They decide against it. Might just Bitter Triumph my Voice now, so they can start flashing their stuff in again. Discard a card. We will swing in. They might have nothing. Play the Air Temple. Play a Greenshell. Resolves. Ooh, we're going crazy. We're going crazy. Now what do you have? Okay. Draw 2 cards. Pretty sweet. Pretty big board. Going to be tough for them to deal with this. Voice of Victory? Do you have anything? Oops it up. Okay. Pretty clean game 2. Game 3 is going to be the tough one. Maybe bring in a couple split ups. Boy, I really don't like it in this matchup. It's more important just to clear their early blockers with single target removal. Or sorry, clear their early attackers with single target removal than to plan to wrath their board. Because if they've like overdeveloped, or if they've developed more than you have as the green-white deck, then you're just losing, basically. They probably have a million resources and an Enduring Curiosity, and they're drawing a million cards. It's really just important to keep them from snowballing early. It's a pretty slow hand. I like the Voice of Victory. I think it's fine-ish. No early interaction. Another Gear Hulk doesn't help us too much. Gotta skip the Duskrose Reliquary. Just need to hit lands with this hand. Another Gear Hulk. Got him in triples. Triples is best. Yeah, this might be a problem. I should have mulliganed. That's just how it goes. Yeah. You get your Kaito. There's nothing I can do about it. Should have mulliganed. We get it. Kaito strong. Hushwood Verge, eh? Okay. Play the Sentinel. At least we get to start deploying our stuff. Heartless Act. Wouldn't mind resolving this Gear Hulk next turn. Open up our Cosmic Grand Zenith. Triggering our Cosmic Grand Zenith is a way for us to get back into the game. Putting a lot of little chumpers on the field. Pretty tough for them to deal with that. A Null in their deck. Ooh. I guess we go... Let's go with a Voice of Victory here. Keep them from being particularly effective with this Flood Pit's Drowner. Essence Scatter. Okay. Riveting game of Magic. Riveting stuff. I mean, I know what it feels like to be on the other side of this and like be playing the Kaito like tempo style. And it is pretty fun just denying all of your opponent's stuff, but I don't know. It's just annoying when it like you just don't have an answer to Kaito and you just have to sit there and you know you've lost the game right when it resolves, and it's like I guess there's maybe a chance that they don't have anything. I don't know. Can't complain too much. Gotta go for a Gear Hulk here. Can't complain too much. 3-0 currently. 3-0 or 2-0? I've played so many games of Magic today. My head is not on straight. Grab a Seam Rip for the bat. Let's grab a Chump Blocker. Cheap creature to Chump Block with. Because we played against the tokens list. We played against allies. I'm pretty sure I'm 3-0. I don't remember what the other deck was, though. Getting whomped on by blue-black in a big way. 1 game 2. Not the worst defeat in the world. GG. Can't win them all. On to the final match. 3-1. I swear this is like my 20th match today, though. some crazy number like that. Some crazy number like that. You ever have days like that, friends? Great hand. Good hand. Dan009. On the draw. Gonna lead on... Just gonna lead on a Lush Portico. Sentinel of the Nameless City is a pretty good draw. Play a Gene Pollinator, see if they counter this, because I haven't played a land. Nope. Play a land. Torch the Tower. Looking like some kind of... I'm going to put them on, like, the Quantum Riddler, like, Splash Portal list, perhaps. They don't typically play the Lessons package. Insidious Fungus. Play a Sentinel. It's got a big butt. And I cannot lie. I love the art on this card. One of my favorite looking merfolk ever. So sick. Shout out to Josu Ernez. Not sure if I said that correctly. Okay, well, if we're playing the like 1-for-1 game, I think we are definitely going to win that. Brightglass Gearhulk. 1-for-1 this, punk. Go ahead and grab a speculative Insidious Fungus and... Oh, I already have an Insidious Fungus in hand. Let's go with a Ghost Vacuum for their Storm Chaser's talents, and we already have a Duskro's Reliquary, so let's go for a Novice Inspector. And I might just jam the Green Hulk next turn. I'm not sure that there's a whole lot they can do. Okay, so we have the Reliquary for this Riddler. Not jamming the Greenshell. Did I say Green Hulk? I'm losing it, dude. I'm losing it. Play an Abandoned Air Temple. Play Duskro's Reliquary. Sacrifice a map. Eat your Riddler. Play a Ghost Vacuum. Play a Fungus in case they decide they want to try to pick up their Roaring Furnace. Swing for 4. Yes, we have these main deck hate pieces. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. They're at a loss. They're unsure how to proceed. They're scared, they're alone. They're up against the 3-1 Fecund Greenshell deck that's secretly just like a Gearhulk midrange deck. We'll go for the Insidious Fungus to bop the Roaring Furnace. They can't Boomerang Basics at instant speed. Just keep this off the field. Get out to return at instant speed. Fine. That's still a pretty easy 1-for-1 there. Eat our Insidious Fungus out of our graveyard. Swing for 4 here, and then I don't think there's anything they can do about a Greenshell. I guess they could just Boomerang Basics it, but I still get the trigger here. Draw another Gearhulk. Okay. And if we untap with the Greenshell, we go crazy. We go absolutely crazy. Roaring Furnace. Kill the Gearhulk. Have the Ghost Vacuum for our Gearhulks in our graveyard. They might be on some amount of main deck Abrade, which would be pretty good against us, but not incredible. They're playing at a reasonable pace, which I like. Not too fast, not too slow. Just right. I don't like it when people play too fast, but I definitely don't like it when they play it too slow. It's just like, you got an attitude or something? Why you gotta click so fast? You know what I mean? Hit the Gearhulk. Play a Novice Inspector. Trigger. Put a land onto the battlefield. I guess we'll play a Gearhulk. Draw into more Novice Inspectors. Whee! Put a Lush Portico onto the battlefield. Yeah, we'll draw a Lush Portico. No problem for a guy like me. Blocks with their Thunder Trap Trainer. Probably going to be able to present a lethal board next turn. They don't have anything else going on. Boomerang Basics. Pick up their stuff. We're going crazy. We have the Abandoned Air Temple. We have Novice Inspector to hit a 10th land. Not a whole lot they can do about this. We are simply too far ahead. Good game. Dan 009. We have games 2 and possibly 3. You're still in this, buddy. It's not over for you. I mean, this game's over for you, but I just meant, like, your Magic career. Riddler. Furnace. Kill the Gearhulk. Fair enough. Eat my Gearhulk. The interesting thing about this deck, too, is sometimes you, like, run out of gas with Brightglass Gearhulk. Surveil. There's a land. Play an Inspector. Like, if you're somewhat light on 1-drops in your deck, maybe you run out of targets. In this deck, I don't know. It's pretty unlikely that we run out of targets, you know what I mean? Swing in for lethal. Because we have 12 1-drop creatures in the first place, and then all these other, like, trinkets. Our curve is crazy. We have 17 1-drops. So it's pretty unlikely that we run out of Greenshell targets, even through, like, Ghost Vacuum, like copying and playing multiple Gearhulks through Ghost Vacuum again. Pretty unlikely. Bring in the Voice of Victories. They're pretty decent here. I think I'll just keep it on 1 Ghost Vacuum in this matchup. Don't need the Rest in Peace. Don't need the Soul Guide Lantern. I like the Authority, though. They're probably on Frostcliff Siege. Turning off the haste from Frostcliff Siege with 1 card is pretty nice. Go down a Duskrose Reliquary. Go down... Probably go down a couple Fungus. We don't need them all. Go down a Greenshell and a Herd Heirloom. Right like that. Try it like that. I expect to see some Abrades. Should have a pretty good matchup here, though, I think. Decent hand. Mana's a little slow. Not going to play into a Torch here. Do we want another land? I mean, we have the Greenshell in hand. I kind of think it's okay. Pretty happy with the Voice of Victory here, I think. See what they do about it. Might just counter it, which would open up our future green shell, possibly. I keep wanting to say Green Hulk. I don't know. I've played too much Green Hulk or Gear Hulk. Green Shell, Gear Hulk. Get out. Fair enough. I should have played the starting town that turn, actually. It makes my curve out a little awkward. The fact that I did not play the starting town. That helps. Go for the starting town. Pass it to ya. Now they kill the pollinator. Fine. Not sure why they have this whole guide lantern in their deck. Okay, cycles it. I am inevitable. Play a prairie. Pass it to you. Talent. Ooh. We have a window. Probably get there, get lost here. Voice of Victory. I'm just going to go for the green shell. At the very least, it's always a 2-for-1 if it resolves, right? So, pretty happy with jamming there. They can counter the Voice of Victory, I suppose, but then, like, we kind of maybe get the chance to pop off with our 1-drops here. Looking pretty good for us. Could be a clean 4-1 with a fun deck list here. Love this deck. Highly recommended you check out Greenshell if you haven't. I guess I don't block. Pretty healthy life total. Even if they're bluffing, I think it's okay. Gear Hulk, huh? Yeah, lead on the Novice Inspector. See if they do anything about this. Nope. Herd Heirloom. See if they do anything about this. Move to combat. See if they do anything about this. Try to draw cards off of my green shell. Wow. Bean Pollinator. see if they do anything about this. Come on, you got to counter something eventually. We're going crazy. We don't even need the Voice of Victory. Play a starting town. Pass it to you. Oh, Fecund Greenshells. You so silly, dude. You so silly. What even is this art? What's going on here? Oh, it's like it's got birds eating it? I can't really tell. It's so lush and vibrant, like fecundity, like fecund, it's fecund, and the birds are coming to steal its berries, but it's shooting out. It's protecting. Can someone explain what's going on here? It's shooting out like fireworks to protect itself from the birds trying to eat it. Kind of confusing. Anyway, our opponent's playing some otters or whatever. They're holding up a get out. I guess I'll let you counter this because you have to. Yay. Now they're tapped out. I'm going to go for a Gear Hulk here. Grab 2 more 1-drops. We have infinite cards. Trigger the green shell. Yeah, I guess I like Gene Pollinator here. Trigger the green shell. Another Voice of Victory. Play a land. Swing for 4. Yeah, not a whole lot these red decks can do about the Fecund Greenshell once it resolves. I mean, they have to bounce it, basically, right? But it's just got a big butt. I guess the Lessons deck could deal with it with Combustion Technique, but yeah, just chumping's not going to get you anywhere, really. Thunder Trap Trainer. Torch? What are you going to torch? One of my 1/2s that I really don't care about? What are you going to torch? Dan 009. Storm Chaser's Talent. It's Otters, but like, dude, come on. Yeah, come on. Fecund Greenshells. I guess we'll go for the Voice of Victory first here. Make them counter this. Yes. But do you have another one, Dan 009? Because I have a Greenshell. I have 2 Greenshells. Land. Go for Novice Inspector here. Trigger the Greenshells. It's over for you, Dan. It's over. Land. With a Surveil. Into another land. My team is huge. Who needs Ouroboros? Swing in. Yes, that's a 5/6 novice inspector. All natty. No counters here. Just pure buffs. 4-1. Fecund Greenshell. Beautiful thing. Check it out. Try it out. Underrated. Not a whole lot else you can do with it other than a build like this, I think. Green-white makes a lot of sense to me. I think these cards work out really nicely together. If you're interested in seeing more standard brews daily, I'll be here as long as my computer survives. It's kind of been on the fritz lately, but keep you updated. If it dies, and I'll just have to get a new one and might find a little break in my posting there, but we will persevere. Anyway, thanks for watching. I have an RCQ coming up on Saturday, and I'll update you on as to how that will go, as to how that goes. I'm planning on playing this green-white heirloom list that I've had a lot of success with on this channel. Basically built around Mightform Harmonizer and swinging in with big lethal attackers. If you're interested in this other green-white Brightglass Geared Hulk list, go ahead and check that out. I've got a couple videos posted with it. If you have any interest in seeing certain cards built around, I kind of have a list going with a bunch of cards that I'm interested in making decks out of. Conveniently right here. So if anything here stands out to you, drop a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see sort of built around. Trying to figure out this Sidisi Regent of the Mire. Still kind of stuck on that one. Not sure what I'd do with Marvin. Jolly Balloon Man, a card I love. But yeah, that's it for today. I'm going to take a break from Magic for the rest of the day. So thanks for watching. I've been Eric, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.